So you're 5 years out from retirement and you feel like you're in a good place. You may or may not be. You are in what I call the retirement red zone. The next 5 years are incredibly important to the future of what you're doing for retirement. Hi, my name is Matt Andrus. I'm a financial planner, owner at Blueprint Financial Partners. I want to talk today about retirement planning. We call the time period before retirement the retirement red zone. This is the time period where you're finishing up the accumulation phase and you're getting into the time where you are going to start using your money. There are really three major concerns during that time. I'm going to go through them one by one. Think of this all as if you're climbing a mountain. Imagine you're climbing Mount Everest, one of the largest, highest mountains on the planet. People do it all the time. Not all the time. It's a tough thing. You have to plan ahead, you have to acclimate, you have to spend a lot of money on it. But most everybody plans on the trip up, getting to the peak, getting the picture, getting yourself in the books, but not everybody makes good plans on getting down. There's a stat that says more people die on the descend than they do on the way up to the mountain. You go, why is that? Because they planned so hard to get there, but they didn't plan on how to descend and get down the mountain. What I do in retirement planning is help people not only get to the peak, get to the point where they can walk away from the work, the job, slow down, do whatever, but so that they can actually then go and enjoy their retirement. We're living longer than ever before. Healthcare is expensive, and so these years are really important to plan for. There are three things to think about when you're talking about retirement planning and this retirement red zone. The number one is risk management. We want to talk about the idea that you have been in this hustle, accumulation, aggressive growth or growth phase for years and years and years. We've seen the market do wonderful things. You've been accumulating all this money and you've been sometimes getting double-digit return, but you have to take a switch and make a change, because if you're that in the market and that at risk in retirement and the market takes a downturn and you're not working any longer, you get hammered by that downturn. If you have $100,000, or let's say $1 million, and the market takes a 20% drop real quick, well, you now have 800,000. Well, you go, hey, I only need 20% to get back up to the full million. It's not true anymore. To go from $1 million down to 800,000 is a 20% loss, but to go from 800,000 back up to $1 million is a 25% gain. So it's harder to get that number back where you need it to be. And the problem is you're not working any longer. You're not accumulating any more money. You're living off of what you saved and invested in the past. So that's the first thing. We need to help you make that change and adjust all of your assets into your new station in life. The second thing we've got to do is called income planning. And you go, Matt, I have income. I know what income is. Well, it's interesting in retirement because you've got different costs. You've got more travel. Some people find themselves spending more money in retirement because they're simply not as busy. They've got more time to go into stores and go online shopping and have hobbies. When you're working before, you might have wanted a hobby. You just didn't have time for the hobby. Well, now you are freed up. You've got all this time. And so we need to plan on all those things, but also, is everything paid off? Is the home paid for? The car is paid for? Do we have any consumer debt? All those parts of your plan are really important. We hadn't even talked about medical planning. When do I turn Social Security on? How long are my investments going to last? There are ways to coordinate all of those things. That's the second red zone. And then the third is lifestyle reframing. And you go, what does that even mean, Matt? It means this. It means there's a psychological side to all of this, because it's not easy for some people to make this change. Think about it. Many of you, myself included, I got my first job or my first income when I was a teenager, before I could even drive. And so I'm used to making money, achieving. And then we come to this place in life where we start having kids and we're working hard and we're balancing, when they're little, taking them to daycare and going to work and after school stuff and church responsibilities. And later on they start playing sports and we're working and juggling all these plates. And then you get to the end of things, of your work time, and you retire, and it's like, what do I do now with my time? And people sometimes have a hard time with that. And so we want to help people think through the whole picture of their retirement. We want to make sure that they understand where they are, what they're doing, what's really a best place for them. So there's three things to look at. First thing is that risk management. We want to help you make a good choice, get in the right risk categories for all your buckets of money. Number two is income planning. It's really important that we have a plan of where you're going to spend money from. There's things like RMDs. The government requires you to take money out of qualified funds for certain time. And then the last thing is that lifestyle reframing. We've got to mentally get you in a good spot, understanding you're in a different phase of life and it's okay to enjoy things. I've seen men struggle with that. So think about that mountain. We don't want to just get you to the top of it. We want to get you down from the mountain, descended safely, enjoying your life, living a long time, enjoying what you worked for so long.